Hello, I'm Bridget Bolliger from Play with a Pro. I thought that in this video I'd talk a little bit about stage fright. Stage fright, it's a horrible thing to have experienced. And as a flute player, I can say that it manifests itself in such a way that your mouth can feel so dry that it's like having concrete in your mouth, preventing you from tonguing clearly, from playing a phrase. It totally wrecks your lower register and it's horrifying. You just want to walk off the stage and never appear in public ever again. And it has happened to me only once, and it never happened to me again after that. So I'd like to tell you what I learned from that experience and how I learnt to go on with less horrifying experiences. So it's a very simple thing with the mouth problem, with the dryness actually. And I was told this by a brass player. Unfortunately, it was so long ago I can't remember who it was, but I'm very grateful to this brass player who told me very simply that before I was to go out and perform, I should put a little bit of lemon on my tongue. Lemon. A fresh lemon. A slice of lemon. You just get it and rub it a little bit on your tongue, and that keeps the moisture, the saliva, always there in your mouth so that you won't get so dry to the point where you lose control of your playing. So if you don't have a piece of lemon, you can also drink a little bit of citric orange juice or any juice which is citric, and not too much. Don't put too much lemon on your tongue, because if you do, that can also have the opposite effect, and there's so much saliva in your mouth that's a catastrophe too. So experiment with that. The other thing that it's really important to focus on is your breathing. Always your breath control. And the way I do this when I'm particularly nervous is I'm concentrating very much on my lower abdominal muscles. I'm always tensing them so that they are supporting my airflow, and I'm breathing in and out, especially in the rests. And this works very well in orchestra too, when you have a big solo coming up, and if you have some rests before that solo, you might feel yourself getting tenser and tenser. But in those rests, it's really great to just exhale. So you're going and inhale again. Of course, you don't need to be that loud. You can do that very, very quietly. And likewise, when you're performing with a pianist in a recital or with your chamber musicians around you, when you're not playing, just keep breathing, keep concentrating on your breathing. Which leads me then to the other point, and that is that when you're performing, it's very rare that you're all alone. Of course, if you're playing a work for solo flute, you are actually on your own. But most of the time we've got other musicians with us. We've got a pianist, or we've got chamber musicians around us, or an orchestra. So it's a teamwork. It's a team effort. And it's not all about you. So the moment you start thinking that it's about you and focusing on yourself, then you can really lose it. You start to have little voices in your head playing around with your self-esteem, but just instead of blocking all of those out and trying really hard to block those negative voices, what I find helpful is to listen to my colleagues, to really tune in what they are doing, and listen. Just really listen to their story. They're all telling their own stories, and then you become a beautiful team member. One other thing then, two other things is I'd like to say is that you need to be authentic. I think that if you're trying to be someone else, if you're trying to prove something to your audience or to even the musicians around you, things can go very pear-shaped because you're playing for the wrong reasons. Obviously, you've done all of your practice. Hopefully, you're well prepared. And then you have the opportunity to be expressive on stage and to be really authentic. And lastly, because you've done all of that great practice, you don't need to think about what you're doing much at all. The moment you start thinking about your fingers and thinking about articulation, it can all go pear-shaped as well. You've done your preparation. You have to have faith in what you're going to do and just let the music flow. So I'm not going to play for you today in this video clip, but I would love to encourage you to listen to some of my recordings on Spotify. There's an album called Dancing Shadows of music from Miriam Hyde, a wonderful Australian composer. And my most recent CD with my wonderful pianist Andrew West is called Timeless. And that's with works including Debussy, Claude Debussy, Frank Martin and the Martinu Sonata, and a beautiful new work by an Australian composer, Jim Coyle. So please follow me on my YouTube channel as well, and I'll be having lots more little short video clips to come on various aspects of flute playing. I hope you enjoy my work. Thank you.